Thank you so much. Gotta love technology in 2021. Hello, everyone. This is Kerry Desberg, Chief Marketing Officer with Impartner. Welcome to our 3D virtual arena. The Partner Experience Conference Center. At the end of the day, is all about partner experience, isn't it? And making ourselves irresistible to our partners. It is my pleasure today to introduce our speaker, Theresa Caragol. She is the founder and CEO of AchieveUnite. They are a top channel strategy firm, and they are part of our Channel Chief Advisory Board. Lala, if you could go to the next slide. At the beginning of the pandemic, here we go. Yes, at the beginning of the pandemic, we formed the Channel Chief Advisory Board. We put together, we call them the Channel Glitterati. We put together those people that we saw by the sides of our top channel chiefs everywhere and on the stage when we were on stages and making headlines. And the intent is to make sure that we have a constant, steady stream of thought leadership to really help everyone figure out not only how to survive, but thrive and scale and prosper as we move forward through this interesting period in history and begin to recover. Come on, vaccines. So today's topic is a big one. You know, despite the fact that these vaccines are coming and coming fast in the U.S. in any way, it's going to be a bit before we can really close that last mile and be on the ground the way that we were. Even before the pandemic, a channel is the single fastest and most cost-effective way to really be able to scale your business and give you another revenue stream. And I will tell you that our pipeline is just full of companies who are saying, hey, wow, I really need that other revenue stream. I really can't close that last mile. I want feet on the ground. I want to build a channel. And there's no one better to talk about this than Theresa. She's been channel chief for a host of great companies out there, Stream Networks, Sienna, you know, is right by the side of some amazing customers that we work with, like Polly. And I'm going to turn this over to her to talk about what you need to do to build the ultimate channel in 2021. So without any further ado, welcome to the PXCC. Enjoy your time as avatar. I'm going to sign off and turn it over to Theresa. Theresa?
Hello. It's wonderful to be here. Thank you. Hopefully everyone can hear me okay. Give me a thumbs up and a yes if so. I am delighted to be here with you to talk about the ultimate guide to building a channel, and hopefully you can tease Kerry throughout this session that I am her favorite Channel Chief Advisory Board, because I've been teasing her all morning about that. So all of my other friends will just keep teasing her that we're all her favorites. Anyway, well, we're thrilled to talk about the ultimate guide to building a channel. And we're going to chat a bit about what it's like in a COVID world and what's different. So let's get started and dive in. So first, and thank you for the amazing introduction as well, Kerry. I really appreciate that. I am a former channel chief myself for many years at companies, and I built several companies' channels from scratch. And then I've had the privilege of helping, our entire company's had the privilege of helping companies do this over and over. And we know what the science is and the recipe is. So we can almost predict whether that company is going to be successful or not by following certain key things. So first, as we talk about building a channel, what do you do first, right? One is success increasingly depends on companies taking a long-term approach to this, right? This is not a 6-month initiative. There are key indicators for success within 6 months, but it is an 18 to 24 to 36-month investment. And it's really critical up front. I always say channel and go-to-market is not a sales initiative. It's a company-wide way you decide to invest and build your businesses. And so that is also a critical thing, because what does that imply? That implies that you need CEO and executive level sponsorship. And the degree to which we get that up front is often the degree to which we are successful 12 to 18 months later. All right, next chart, let's jump in. I like to start with, if you can jump to the next chart, I want to show you the AchieveUnite 5 Ps. This is, you will see this over and over again in different, actually, if you can back up to the 5 Ps. The 5 Ps are our model for building a channel because it is about the policies which have to line up to your company goals. It is about process, right? And automation drives process and platform, right? So that's part of the reason why Impartner and we are here together talking about this, because you can't have one without the other. It is about the people and having the right skill sets and the right organization structure and the right way you're going to work with partners set up correctly from the start. And it's about a program. And it's about a company-wide structure. Why do we need partner programs, by the way, in the first place? Anybody know why we need a partner program? What partner programs do is they set up trust. Partner programs are a way that companies build inter-organization trust so you can go past one person to one person at a time. And so that is why we form programs, because they create structures to build trust. All right, so one thing to remember from this chart, can everyone see the charts? I just want to make sure that we're broadcasting okay. All right, let us know. Okay, good. Thanks, Corey. Appreciate it. So if one thing that's really important is that our corporate plan, right, the degree to which we align our channel initiative and our channel strategy to the company's corporate goals is the degree to which we get support and funding and advocacy in the organization. Good. All right, next chart. Let's jump to the next chart, which I can't see yet, but let's see. And we're going to talk about the categories of investments, right? Oftentimes we see CEOs or chief revenue officers and they put one person on and they say, go build a channel for me, go recruit partners. How often do you think that works? Yeah. It's not always very successful, because you need to have headcount, you need to have sales and solutions that have a very good business proposition. We're going to talk about what a business proposition is. You need to align your demand generation. I remember working with a company and they were coming over from Israel to the US, and they wanted to sell direct and form a partner initiative. And we warned them up front that when you try to come to the US, sell direct, and try to form a partner initiative, you're kind of starting with two hands behind your back, tied behind your back, right? So the degree to which you drive alignment and solve some of these things up front as you're building a channel initiative is often the degree to which you are successful later. You know, you can't build a channel program without some kind of investments in operational costs and sales incentives and funding for profit. So these things are really important. Now, here's what I also see happen is, let's say we've been doing the channel for 12 months or 18 months, and we need to figure out how we're not growing. We need to do something different. We need to take a right angle turn to get to the next level of building and maturing our channel. That's where these categories of investment come in again. The strategy comes in again, because you need to take a right angle turn in different areas in these buckets in order to turn that spigot on high so that revenue is flowing fast through the hose, right? It's like a fire hose. That's what we want to have happen in our partner initiatives. Okay, good. Next chart. All right, so now we're going to talk about leading and lagging indicators. Most of us measure our channel success and our partner initiatives and our go-to-market ecosystems by revenue. The problem with that is revenue is a lagging indicator. There's a whole bunch of things I had to do up front in order to get to revenue. So it might be new customers, it might be deal registrations, it might be demand generation campaigns, it might be training and certifications. So I need to be looking at my leading indicators of success. And by the way, you have to set your leading indicators properly, because I often go in and I see people measuring things that actually don't predict success of a partner initiative later. So we have to be very careful about what we're measuring in addition to revenue and how we're measuring it, and ensuring that it's really a predictor of success. So metrics matter, getting the right metrics matters, and blending leading and lagging indicators matters. All right, next chart. And while you're jumping to the next chart, I'll tell you a great story. This morning, I had the privilege of having breakfast with my son's basketball, travel basketball. They've started a whole league, and these two people run a nonprofit in Virginia and are inspiring and developing all of these young people who, you know, maybe have had some tough lives. She told me stories of these young boys who she's helped raise all through basketball that are now going to college and playing in Division I teams. And so I'm coming to you this morning incredibly inspired by people who are doing good in the world. So that's my side story. All right, next chart. But yes, how we can inspire others is really important, especially in a COVID world, and basketball in Alexandria, Virginia is one of those things. So it's really neat. Okay, so leading indicator metrics, you know, here we talked about some of these, but it could be customer meetings, right? With partners, it could be partner meetings, it could be deal registrations, it could be number of resources that you're engaging with a partner and that the partner's leveraging from your company. It could be a pre-sales certification or a technical certification. It could be that you're doing co-selling, you know, the partner and your sales rep are selling together out in the field, and that's a leading indicator metric. So these are some things just to get your mind thinking about, what is a leading indicator metric? What does that look like? Good, next chart. All right, so we talk about defining the end user profile, and we teach a course called the Channel Acceleration Bootcamp, and Impartner is sponsoring one of our courses coming up. So I encourage you to come to our website, because the Channel Acceleration Bootcamp really helps you either build, or if you're already in channel, tweak your skills, tweak your approach, tweak your knobs and dials so that you are really doing this right. There is a right way, and there is increasingly a science to building and growing channels. And so that's what we teach in our Channel Acceleration Bootcamp. So it starts with, who is the end user profile that we want to reach? And what is the size? Who's the decision maker? What is the problem we're trying to solve? What's the geography? What are the regulations associated with that? Because the degree to which we understand outside in that end customer profile is the degree to which later we are successful with picking the right partners. So this is a marriage, and it's a three-way marriage, because we have the end customer, we have the partners, and we have a service provider or a tech vendor or a SaaS company or a cybersecurity company. And we're building an ecosystem together. So this is critical to getting right. All right, next chart. While you're waiting, if you can see up above my head, let me see if I can point to the right place. That is a Virginia Tech football. I went to my undergraduate at Virginia Tech, and so I'm a big Hokie, and my son had a party when he was about 6 years old, and a dear friend of mine got it signed by all of the Virginia Tech Hokie players. And so the only problem is now he doesn't like the Hokies and he likes Ohio State. So I get to keep it in my office. All right, so let's define our channel types, because now we've defined our customer profile. Now we know what the ingredients are we have to have going in our company. Now, what are the proper channel types? What does the partner sell? How do they make money? What matters most to them? What do they care about? What is their growth strategy? Understanding all of these elements then help us figure out who we should be working with. What partner type should we be working with? What is the profile of that partner type? So there's a marriage between our end customer profile, us as a vendor, and the kinds of partners we need to be partnering with. And I always like to give a shout out to one of my mentors, Ron Rohner, who is kind of one of the godfathers of channel, who really taught me things over the years. I always say I get to do the job I do now, and our company gets to do what we do now, because when I was a channel chief in industry, I hired outside experts, and they really helped me accelerate much faster. And so that's my shout out to Ron Rohner, and very honored to have and lead AchieveUnite, and hopefully we do good for others, both in industry, individuals, and companies. So next chart. And we're having a good year and really making a difference in both people's lives and in companies' successes. And that's really, really important to me. So we have to then, once we figure out our end customer, our partner profile, then we've got to align the business from the top down. So we have to, going to market is not a sales initiative. I started with that. I'm going to say it again. I'll probably going to finish it with that too, because I want you to take away that it's important that we have sometimes very difficult conversations with our executive leadership teams about how you do this right. Because the degree to which you get some of these sponsorships is when you're going to be successful. For those of you that are debating whether to go to a company or interviewing, hopefully these are giving you some things to think about and to ask questions if you're looking at going into a company to build a channel or build a business. Because it requires multiple business functions. It does require investment. I like to say if somebody's interviewing for a channel executive job, that they're looking at what the operating budget's going to be and the head count's going to be, and they're getting a sense of that as they go into this in order to be successful. Because unfortunately, we can't have one person in a partner portal and expect that we're going to be able to go sell, right? It's a whole adoption of these multiple factors that have to come together. All right, good. Next chart. And feel free to ask questions. If anyone has any questions along the way, I'm happy to answer them through the chat. So we need to architect our value propositions, and I encourage you to talk about an end user value proposition and a business partner proposition. What's the difference? Well, a business partner, and I see many companies go wrong here. We are communicating to our partners, and guess what we're doing? We're basically taking our end customer content and replacing the word customer with partner and sending it out. That's wrong. We don't want to be doing that, because what our partners care about, whether you're a seller of a partner, whether you're the owner of the partner, whether you're the tech engineer, you probably care about different things than your sales rep or your end customer or your CIO or your chief security officer, right? So we at the end customer, so we have to be very careful that we're not mixing our messages, that we're very deliberate about what our messages are. All right, good. Next chart. What are 5 strategies to help you ensure you are successful? Let's jump into those right now. 5 best practices. And, some of these I learned the hard way, right? I think I still have scars on my back from, my Sienna experience or integrating. I remember integrating Extreme and Theresa to make 1 + 1 = more than 2 and, learn some things the hard way. So yeah, let's jump into that. You can jump to the next chart. And so it's really important that you get some of these things right. And even if you have a mature channel, but you're flat or you're growing, you want to be continuing to review your strategy, review your policies, review your program. Are they in alignment, right? If they're in alignment, your ship's going in the same direction. What I often see happening is our ship is out of alignment, right? I'm going really slow in the boat because I don't have my strategy aligned to my policy, aligned to my program. And that's when we start to see those things happen, it's symptom of bigger issues going on in our partner initiatives. So we need to align those 3 things. Otherwise, we run risk of burnout, we run risk of overcommitting, we run risk of our people failing, and it's not their fault that they're failing. We oftentimes go to, oh, well, they're just not good at what they're doing, when the truth is it doesn't have to do with the people, it has to do with this alignment within the organization. I see this happening a lot. So I encourage you to really dig under the covers, if you're having any kind of these symptoms in your workplace right now. And we're happy to help as well. Good, next chart, number 2. That was number 1, let's jump to number 2. So we want to invest in end user demand generation or co-marketing with partners or doing something that helps our partners build momentum. In the spirit of Ron, who I mentioned to you earlier, he and I debate, partners don't often make markets for vendors. It's the vendor's responsibility to make the market. But technology partners, different types of alliances, they will help you make those markets. So some of that is changing, especially in a COVID world. But it's still important that we look at how we're going to help those partners with demand generation. We can't just say, I'm going to build a channel and it's all the partner's responsibility to do everything. I'm not going to give them any tools or assistance with that, because we're not likely to be successful. It does not always mean we have to give them leads. You know, I've seen Craig Schlagbaum, I've seen a number of companies do some innovative things, and they aren't handing leads over to partners all the time. So, you know, that's sort of the gray that it depends depending on your strategy for your company. But we want to be investing in resources and tools for the partners. All right, it's all about trust. Trust is now a science. According to the ISO, it's actually 44001 standard. It has turned partnerships into an art, from an art to a standard. We need to really look at the processes, the people, the programs, because remember, programs build structures which build inter-organization trust. So this is some theory from my, I had the privilege of going to Georgetown for an executive master's in leadership in many years ago, but it really taught some organization development skills, and it talks about, you know, partnering is all about inter-organization trust. And that's why we have platforms and automation and programs and all of these pieces, because that's what they're enabling us to do so that we can grow businesses together. And so trust is really, really important. And if you're interested in learning more about trust, we have lots of research on our website. We're going to be announcing something pretty incredible so that you can actually see if you're good at building trust in a partnering world. I'm just going to give you a preview. Something special is coming in the next few months. So yeah, it's all about trust. Good. Let's go to number 4. So number 4 is about, we have to have the right skills on our teams. I also see many companies not having the success they need to have with their partner initiatives. Maybe they've been doing it for 10 years, or maybe they've been doing it for 20 years and they're a big, huge company and they sell only through partners, and guess what's happening? What got you here isn't going to get you there. There are a lot of new partner skills that you have to have in order to be successful in these roles. It is not what it used to be. And so we're doing a lot of work in this arena right now. If anybody's interested in participating in some of the research, please contact me. Or Taylor is actually here. Taylor, maybe put your email in there so that we can get you our studies so you can participate and learn some of the benchmark data. We're glad to share with you about what the new skills are that are critical for CAMs moving forward over the next year. Some people call them partner managers. Some people have partner managers and sales reps in one role. Some people have CAMs, channel managers. You know, so there's lots of different PBMs. I've heard lots of different titles, but effectively, who's doing the partner development? Who's working the deals with the partners, and what are the skills those people have to have in the market moving forward? Because COVID changed a lot of that, and there's a lot of new skills that we have to have. We have to be business experts. We have to have very high EQ. We have to have strong business acumen in how we understand the view of our partners. Because it's not about our business, it's about their business. If you start outside in, you're much more likely to be successful later. So number 5, this is for my good friend Kerry. Since I'm her favorite Channel Chief Advisory Board member, I wanted to make sure that I put a number 5 in, which is protect it all with automated technology. And this is for the folks at Impartner, right? Building this stack is critical, right? You can have a partner program on a guide that has 3 pages, or it's on your website, but it doesn't matter if you can't interact with your partner in a way that is more than one-to-one. And so, you know, the PRM, the demand generation, the analytics, the incentives, all of these things as we mature our partner initiative are critical. And by the way, one size doesn't fit all. So we need different levers for different behaviors that we're trying to drive with these partners. And I'll leave you also in number 5 with, if you are interested, we have an index to help you determine where you are in partnering and what you need to do to be successful as a next step. That is also turned into a science. So if anybody's interested in that, please contact Taylor or I, and we can chat about that as well. So here's some of my lessons learned, and I'm going to run through these quickly. I'm also going to run through them in how they are affected in a COVID world. So cross-functional buy-in and alignment, right? If I am leading a channel initiative or I'm the marketing person in the channel initiative, you know, who else needs to be in the boat and what are my relationships with them? And that just got a lot harder, right, in a virtual world. So I encourage you to make sure that you're driving that alignment. You're creating opportunities to have structured calls to review that alignment on a regular basis. If you're having trouble getting your voice heard in a virtual world, or you need some leadership by influence skills, please contact us. We have an amazing ACE leadership program, which really helps people harness their own potential in the channel and in their own leadership. It's probably something I'm extraordinarily passionate about, and helping people really be empowered to be their best selves in business. So number 2 is capitalize on the industry and the market, right? There are people who through COVID, we have seen, think about the virtual Zoom events, think about Zoom itself, or think about this virtual platform we're on right now, right? Different companies have figured out very innovative ways. How can you be part of that solution and really look at a trend and how you can drive unique things with your partners? Leadership by influence, that's ACE, authentic leadership, collaboration, empowerment. It's all about leadership by influence, because none of us have authority over these people, right? They're not our kids, so we have to be influential. We have to build transparency and trust. It's all about influence. Senior level sponsorship, early and top down. If you're hitting a wall in your channel initiative or your partner ecosystem, more than likely you need to increase your sponsorship at a level. And so we can help you with where you need to go, what you need to say to do that. I often see, I was working with a person and they were preparing their pitch to the executive, and actually I was just having a coffee, and their pitch to the executive had one choice. We're executives, we like choices. Don't tell us what to do, give us some options. We like that. We like data, we like numbers, we like metrics, we like investments equals return. So give us the right information so we can make a decision to support you. And it matters in the how. And so we really, through our Channel Acceleration Bootcamp, through our education programs, we really try to help you with the how. Creating a partnering-centric culture matters, right? If I am working and I'm trying to build a channel and my sales reps are not working very effectively with the partners, am I going to be very likely to be successful? Because one bad experience, what do you think happens? Trust is gained in drops and lost in buckets. So that all matters in our culture and how we drive our culture for partnering. And the last one is persistence, right? Repetition, recognition, celebration, partner speak. Don't speak in the language of your vendor, speak in the language of the partner, right? Recognize behavior, celebrate successes. It's all of those momentum. I had a gal who also went to Virginia Tech. She runs a big division at Morgan Stanley, very, very successful. And when I first started our company, she said, remember, momentum builds momentum. It's the same thing in partnering, right? Momentum builds momentum. So getting that going really matters, and continue to recognize successes both in people and in companies. Recognition right now in a COVID world is even more important, and you can do it via social, you can do it via media, but recognize people and recognize companies for them doing a great job. Celebrate, celebrate. So I mentioned the Channel Acceleration Bootcamp. It's a 6-week course, 90-minute sessions, working with peers. It's really an incredible resource, and we actually built it for companies who, they might not be able to afford the big consulting engagement. So I encourage you to take a look if you're interested and come join one of our classes. We also run ACE leadership classes for individuals, and then a number of these are also offered for companies, but those 2 classes in particular are offered for individuals as well. Good. All right. I think, let's see if there's anything more, and then I'll wind down and turn it back to my good friend, Kerry. I really thank you for your time. Mike actually said a great question. How do you feel these practices change for different partner types? So they all apply, but I may not be prioritizing a certain partner type, right? And so, it's going to matter. These practices absolutely matter depending on what your partner type is. So imagine you putting the practices at the top on a grid, putting your partner types down the left, and you would start to fill in the grid as to what the rule is in each one of these by partner type. So you can see why this is not a really easy, channels, partnerships. It is some complex stuff. That's why so many really smart people get to play and love being in this space, because it's really, once you get it right, it's working, it's powerful. But yes, the devil's in the details in partnering, that's for sure. So thanks, Mike. Great question. All right, good. Well, let me turn it back over to Kerry so she can tell you that I'm her favorite. Let's see if she says that or not. And I thank you so much for joining us. Please come visit our website, sign up for our subscriptions. We do not spam anyone. It's all thought leadership. And I really appreciate being here today.
Thank you so much, Theresa. You're one of our favorites. You're one of the favorite channel pros in the industry, simply because you have such great experience, and your energy and passion for the channel is just so infectious. Crazy word to use these days, but really, you just get people excited about the channel and the possibility and what it can do for folks. And that's just great pragmatic advice for 2021 and everything we're all facing, and how you bring it to life in a contemporary way. It's equally exciting for us as a company, and we do share that passion because of the power of automation. You said at the end, you really need to make sure that you've got that automation so you can scale your channel. In blind studies across the world of our customers, when we don't know who's saying what, we don't want them to be nice to us, and we ask them what kind of impact we have in that first year of use alone. They tell us that they see a 32% increase in revenue and a 78% increase in the competitive advantage that we bring to the channel. So as you're thinking about building your channel, make sure that you build it out with automation. We are proud to work with top corporations around the world, and of all different sizes and a number of different verticals. It's a crowded slide, but there is always room for more. We look forward to talking to you. So as you figure out what to do with your channel, how to build out your channel, how to automate your channel, please reach out to our great CCAB board members like Theresa and AchieveUnite, who can help you do that. And to Impartner, we can show you how we can help accelerate your channel with the industry's most award-winning PRM software. We're proud to be the pure player out there that tops it out with customers on GoTo and T2 Crowd, with analysts on Forrester Wave, and just any number of award bodies. So thank you so much for joining me today, and we will look forward to working with you soon. Thanks, everyone. Thanks again, Theresa. Signing off.